You feel overwhelmed, they don't have clear boundaries, and people around you are taking advantage of that because they feel the nice person within you. We know that you will say always yes. So welcome. In today's video, we're going to explain 8 steps that will help you to have stronger boundaries. So the first step is to understand what is boundaries. Boundaries are limits that you set in your relationships. So those limits help you to feel comfortable emotionally, mentally, and physically, so people respect your space and you are able to respect yourself within this space. Second step, why are boundaries important? Boundaries are crucial to maintain healthy relationships. If you want to have a nice relationship in your life, it's important for them to understand who you are, what you allow, and what you don't. And for that, it's important to express yourself and to say, okay, this is not acceptable for me. This, it's okay. This, I don't like. So you just have to think as boundaries as a fence around your house. And, you let the people that you want into your house, and some people you don't want them into your house. So you put boundaries, you put fences around it. And your body is your house. It's exactly the same. It's your energy. So who are you allowing into your energy and who are you not? And for that, it's super important to express your boundaries, to say, actually, that is not okay. So for example, I know that as a person with mixed race, big hair, a lot of people want to touch my hair, and sometimes they just reach for my hair and just start to touch. And I'm just like, wow, no. That is a big boundary for me. Do not touch my hair. Am I going to your space and I'm starting to touch your shoulders or touch your legs or whatever? No. So people sometimes are not even aware of what is okay for you and what is not. So it's super important to express them clearly so people understand what it's okay for them to do and what is not. If you don't have boundaries, after a while, you're going to build resentment, you're going to build anger, you might even feel drained, burned out, because people are going to take your energy. That's what we call also energy vampire. And energy vampire, we allow energy vampire in our life when we don't have strong boundaries or clear boundaries that explain to them that it's a no for me. And as people pleaser, trust me, I used to be one, we attract energy vampires. And energy vampires, they want your attention, they want your energy, they want to take things from you, and because you don't have clear boundaries, it's easier for them to do so. So it's super important to express, communicate clearly, and being assertive in your boundaries and what is okay for you to accept and what is not. So first, identify your boundaries. What are your needs? What are your values? What makes you feel comfortable and what makes you feel uncomfortable? That's where your limits are. And once again, once you identify that, and I invite you to take a journal and start to write all of this to understand what is important for you to express and what it's okay to let go of. For example, for me, when I meet someone, I like to say hi, but I don't like to have a hug, depending on who they are and the energy that I feel. So I think it's super important to be like, hey, hi, yes, just no kiss, it's okay, all good. Because I like to know that person and to understand who they are before then I really come close to them, because space is super important for me. But what's important for you? What are your limits? What are your needs? What are your values? And express that for yourself, and so you can keep healthy relationship in your life. To the next steps, which is communicate clearly. Because if you have all this list of, okay, I know what's good for me and what's not, but you don't communicate them clearly, obviously people are gonna not know about them, and they don't know if it's okay for them to touch my hair, for example, and be like, oh, okay. And inside I would be like super angry because I haven't expressed, and I would have loved them to guess that it's not okay for them to do that. So express them clearly. So of course, not everyone is super comfortable with expressing clearly what they want, especially when as a child they have been suppressed by maybe the parents or a member of the family saying, just calm down, it's okay, just let it go. These things that you feel like, oh, maybe I shouldn't express because maybe the other person is going to think this and that about me, or just that you feel uncomfortable expressing them. So I would advise to start small. Just start small with little things, maybe in your family that you feel a bit comfortable, or with your friends, and be like, what, this, I never really liked it. It's okay that we do it in another way. I would prefer this, So just start small with small steps, and that will work. And the more and more that you will start small and you will start to build that confidence within you to express them clearly, it will come naturally, easily. So one step that is super important, my love, is be consistent. I always talk about being consistent in my videos, but it's super important to be consistent with what you want to implement in your life. And basically, by expressing yourself and your limits, your needs, and your boundaries, then you will see your life shift dramatically, but only if you are being consistent. For example, the energy vampire will think, oh, she's okay. It was just one time. I can do it again, because obviously she's not telling me again. So no, by being consistent and being like, actually, that is not working for me. I already told you, and I would love if you could hear me the first time, but I'm going to repeat it again, and that's okay, And, by reinforcing those boundaries that you have, then the people will start to respect you. I know that for me, respect is a huge value that I have, and I respect a lot the space of others, and I like others to respect my space. But sometimes they're not aware of the space that I need. So I need to reinforce these boundaries and being like, do not touch my hair unless I invite you to. The fifth step, my love, is learn to say no. Like I was saying, as a child, maybe we heard that say yes to something, and to suppress our emotions, to suppress our needs or what was important to us. We learn to say yes to everything, and saying no is a very difficult thing to do. So super, super important to learn to say no, because when you say no, you say yes to yourself. And that's what boundaries are, saying yes to yourself. It's not being selfish, it's an act of self-love. It's I love myself. It's not loving yourself, it's not selfish, my love. How can you love anyone else if you don't love yourself? How can you ask your partner or the man or the woman that you want to date to love you if you don't love yourself and you don't even know how to love yourself? How are they going to know how to love you? Learning to say no, it's an essential part of setting boundaries. So step 6, manage your guilt. Okay, that's a big one, because usually when we are not used to, we just start to say no, and right after we have maybe this feeling inside that say, oh my god, I've been a bad person by saying no to that person. So it's super important to manage your guilt, to identify when it arises within you. Maybe you have a tight belly, or maybe it's in your chest, but to understand, to talk to your inner being like, okay, it's okay, I'm good. I just expressed what was important to me, and that's okay. So manage your guilt. Understand that you are doing that for yourself. You are doing that because you love yourself. And if you love yourself, you will be able to love others. So to have a healthy relationship, it's important to manage your guilt and to not go back into what you just said by setting those boundaries that were important to you. So like I was saying, as a child, maybe your mom, maybe your dad say to you, no, you don't have to express what is important to you, and make you feel guilty. Oh, like you are a bad person if you are making me feel this way because you express what was important to you. I know that, for example, my mother was unconsciously always making me feel guilty by expressing what was important to me as a child, because she felt always that I was going against her needs. But so growing up as an adult, I became like a people pleaser, and let me tell you, that eats you alive, because you feel guilty all the time by expressing your needs and what is right to you, until that you do the work, until you do the inner work, and you just like start to talk to and reassure that little girl or little boy inside of you that once was scared to express your needs. You have to talk to her or him and say, listen, I love you. You are safe and it's okay to express who you are. The world wants to know who you are. And at the end of the day, the people that will stay in your life, because you will be exactly that authentic person that you want to be, will respect your boundaries. They will love you for that because you will resonate with them, and maybe you will even inspire them. If at some point some guilt comes to you right after setting your boundaries, take your journal and start to write about it. Write to this inner child, this inner being inside of you that is feeling the guilt of expressing what she needs or he needs. So, okay, I always talk about these steps. So it's remove toxic influences. Remove toxic people into your life. Of course, as a people pleaser, which are often the people that don't have boundaries, you please always everyone around you, and the people that are toxic, the people that knows that you don't have boundaries, you attract them. And if you attract them, they're gonna suck the life out of you. They're gonna suck your energy, ask for money, maybe for energy, for favors. They're gonna ask for whatever they need, whatever they can, because it gives them power also to do that. And you give them power to do that. But as soon as you start to implement those steps to set your boundaries right, you will have to remove those toxic influences, because they're going to try and try and try to overstep your boundaries. And it's important to, at some point, you don't want to fight over and over again after that you express them very clearly to them more than once. And if they still don't respect them, it's time to let go. It's time to let go of these people, because otherwise they're going to drain you. So if you cannot remove them completely, just limit interaction with them as much as you can. So you keep your peace of mind, your mental, your emotional, and your physical being in a homeostasis, in a beautiful state, in a state of peace and happiness. The step 8, my love, is practice self-reflection. So it's important that at some point to reflect on your boundaries and on your limits, to see if they are still relevant to you, the one that you put in place before within this particular relationship. If now that you have expressed them, it's okay to remove them because you feel at ease and within this relationship and the person is respecting them. So you can assess and to see if some of them have to be reinforced or if some of them have to be let go of. The main thing is to adjust them to make sure that they serve your well-being. That's it. Your well-being is the most important things in this whole boundary settings, right? So my love, start to set those boundaries today, okay? No people pleasing anymore. If you have been burnt out, resentful, angry, and it sucked the energy out of you, it's super important. If you have a house, right, you don't let all the doors and all the windows open for anyone to come in and like open your fridge and eat your food and whatever and make a mess. No, you have doors and you open them to the people that you love to come into your house, and the one that you don't want into your house, you don't let them in, right? So it's exactly the same. Your whole being is your house, your beautiful house, and you have to protect your house, your energy with boundaries. So start to implement those boundaries today. And by implementing those 8 steps, I promise, my love, I promise that you will feel so empowered, so powerful and happy and proud and confident about yourself that you will see all the toxic relationship that you don't need go away from your life, and you will be so happy, and you will attract then the beautiful relationship that you need in your life by being completely authentic and expressing who you are fully. So those steps are powerful to protect your energy, your time, your emotional well-being. So start to implement them from today. Please, my love, if you want to let go of being a people pleaser and saying yes to everything, even the things that, and especially the things that you don't want to, Implement those steps, and I promise that your life will change for the better. Remember, it's never too late to prioritize yourself and your needs. Thank you for watching, and if you find this video helpful, please like and subscribe so you will be notified when the next video comes out. Till next time.